my beautiful friends, I'm here in Honduras. I'm in the middle of nowhere on an island, and I'm about to take a boat ride for 2 hours, a speedboat for 2 hours to go deliver toys in another island called Cayos Cochinos. Please like and subscribe, it's very important, it means the world to me. This little island has been in my list for a long time. I don't know if you guys know, but I've been traveling around the world delivering toys to children that live in extreme poverty for the past 20 years. Este es para ti, mi amor.
Ay, gracias.
¿Cómo se dice?
Gracias.
People often ask me, why do I take toys to third world countries? This is the reason why. These children live in extreme poverty. They're never going to have access to a toy. They barely have money to eat. Some of them don't even have a chance to go to school in their lifetime, you know. So a toy is an extremely important tool, you know, because it helps them to dream. It helps them with creativity. It helps them with language. It helps them with brain development, you know. I think when you are trying to survive, it's extremely hard to dream. That's my goal, to help the children with that toy, to let them know how beautiful and how important they are and how that toy does make a difference in that child's life. Mira, Sancho. ¿Te gusta?
¿Cómo se dice, Chacha?
Gracias.
A la orden, mi amor. Sí, tiene muchas cosas.
Sí, ese parece así.
El abecedario y todo.
Está en la escuela.
There's only 200 people that live in the little island. About 100 are children. They have no running water, no electricity, no hospital or clinic. They don't have a school. I mean, it's a little tiny island on the middle of nowhere. Only water around. There's another islands, but it takes about an hour, 2 hours for them to get there. And if they want to go to school, they have to go to another island. They have to take a little tiny boat to go to another island. And those are the ones that have the money to pay, or they have someone in the community that are able to take them to schools. A la orden.
Otro niño que falta aquí.
We don't want people, all the children, to come at once. We always tell them, you know, no, stay in your house. We're going to go from house to house. Reason number one is because you don't want all the children, you know, piling up on top of you, because then they can take a toy and go put it at their home and come back and get another toy. So we have to make sure that every child gets a toy. It wouldn't be fair for someone to get 2-3 toys and then there's not enough toys to go around, you know. And also because pushing can start, or fights and start. There's always, you know, a boy that's a stronger, or a little bully boy, or something like that happens, you know, in this country, especially in third world countries. You know, these children learn to be rough, you know, it's like street smart, you know, and they have to fight for stuff. So that's the least thing that we want. We want it to be a very nice experience. So we go from home to home, and it also gives me a chance for me to see how people live, how these children live, and who needs it more. Because some children live better than other children, you know, some are extremely horrendously poor, and some are doing just fine. So it's for me to, you know, to be able to see who needs what. And also, I don't want children to see who gets this and who gets that, because then competition starts and they get sad. I mean, it's common sense. They're children. They might get a bigger doll, and this one gets a Barbie, and then I just don't want one to be sad.
Mira, niño.
Mira.
Agárralo, niño, agárralo.
Me dio miedo. ¿Esto qué es? Me va a comer.
Agárralo, niño, agárralo.
Este es tuyo, mi amor, que es un dinosaurio y lo pones en el agua. They have no toys. I saw a little boy. Well, as you can see, the child that we found on the beach playing, he was playing with the old refrigerator. He was using it like it was a boat. So those are the kind of toys these children have. You know, they have to improvise, and anything becomes a toy because they don't have access to toys, because they're very poor. Like, some people ask me why children have like no expression, or you can see in some of the videos that the children have like no expressions in their face. It looks like blank, you know, like they're not excited about the toys, or they're like frozen. You have to understand that these children have never had toys, or if they have had a toy, it's like a little tiny plastic toy from something like the 99-cent store, you know. Also, you know, it's a third world country. Children are taught, you know, not to trust people, and especially a stranger comes and gives them something that never happens in their lifetime. So, who is this person? Why is she giving me toys? They have to be a catch. Something's going to happen here, or it happens to me all the time where the children hold the toy, even the parents, and they're like, no, we have no money. We don't, and it's like, no, it's a present. Trying to explain to them that it's a gift, and they don't want to accept it because they know there's going to be a catch. Nothing is for free. So you have to understand that, and then, you know, and the children are like in shock, you know, this is mine, this belongs to me, and a lot of emotions go through their heads. So as soon as you're not around, and then you see this little babies come out of the shell.
Me sobran, traigo más, pero falta más niños para allá.
Faltan dos varones. Número en el internet para llamar.
Vámonos, Isamil. Dile gracias a Isamil.
Jerry, que vos te la perdiste porque ayer unos juguetes y vamos a ver dónde está.
Make sure you talk.
Ok.
Falta él.
¿Te gusta tu dinosaurio? Estás muy lindo, ¿viste tú?
Ponle. Las tiras, óyale.
No me va a quedar.
Ah.
So it's extremely beautiful place, one of the most beautiful places I ever been. But I got to spend a day on the island, and I can tell you that it's overwhelmingly beautiful, but it can be overwhelmingly boring. The only thing children get to do in this place is pretty much play with each other, play on the water, just swim, fish, and play soccer. They did have a soccer ball when I showed up, but that's pretty much it. It's very boring after a while. When at the beginning it's beautiful because it's a little island on the Caribbean and it's gorgeous, but for them it's very tough place to be. You take in mind they don't have a school, they don't have any kind of entertainment. They don't have toys, and they don't have books to read. Esto que va dentro de las dos casitas, ¿ok? Y se abren así, mira. Le vas a dar aquí la vueltita y aquí se abre, ¿ok? Ahí están los muñequitos. The only income these families have is when tourists come, and they're not many or very often, and they feed the tourists, fried fish and something else because they don't have a lot of vegetables, because you cannot grow absolutely anything on the island. This little island is 70, 80 little homes. They're made out of wood, like little tiny wood chucks. They cook with wood because they don't have gas. It took me about 6 minutes to cross the island from one point to the other side. It's very small. I have to tell you, it's very safe, it's very beautiful because they're like a big giant family living in a little island. I think the reason why these people choose to live like this is because Honduras is very dangerous, so they kind of change one thing for the other one. They'd rather have not a lot of things and not be very comfortable and not have access to, to school, or not have access to, a hospital, things that we need in everyday life. But I know that children are going to be safe because the mainland is very tough. It's a very rough environment for them to live in, so I think that's why they choose to live like this.
¿Te gustó? Está muy linda, está muy bonita porque mira, lo abres y le quitas el plástico y ahí puedes tener todo tu cosita, tiene el perrito y tiene todos los animalitos.
You see in some of our videos that children are always following us around, and the reason why we don't want that is because it makes it really hard. First of all, they want to see what their friends are getting, and if I follow, I might get a second toy because it does happen, sometimes you have leftovers and whoever's around is the one that's going to get it, so the children, this little thing is they just got a toy, but oh my god, so many, and they're so beautiful, they want all, so we just wanted to see what everybody else gets, so because they can get sad.
Es como cambio de colores con el sol, se pone morado. ¿Te gustó?
Because these children live in such a remote place, the toys that you need to take there have to be, toys that are going to help to improve their brain development, like puzzles, like Legos, books that they can write, or images that they can see. And also, I took dolls and I took all kinds of toys because, the children never seen toys before, so they were really excited with whatever I took. It was really fun to see even the adults, jumping into the books, to see the images, even that they couldn't read the books.
Mira, mi amor, este es un dinosaurio. Ahí está cómo lo vas a armar, ¿ok?
Ah, ¿para qué?
Está marino para
After a long day in hard work, because people have no idea the work that goes behind, taking toys is extremely exhausting. You get super tired because you have to have, make everybody happy, make sure that everybody gets a toy. You make sure you have enough toys because it happens all the time that you run out of toy and then a child's crying and then he's sad and then you're heartbroken because how is it possible that everybody got a toy and he didn't get a toy? And all the logistics, everything that goes into making sure you take a boat and safety and getting there and make sure it doesn't get too dark so you go back where you came from, and finding people to help you to carry the toys around. You always have to ask the locals, who to trust, who's someone that is going to take you to a safe place where nothing's going to happen to you. At the end of the day, after hours and hours, because the video is very little, but it actually takes a lot of work to get to that point. I'm exhausted, I'm tired, but then I make a lot of friends, I make a lot of people happy, a lot of children happy, and then there's a time for me to enjoy, to relax, and by then they trust me, they know that I'm not going to steal them, and they're just screaming and running, they're so happy, and then they know they can trust me, and then they come around, they start touching me, grabbing my hair, and like in this case, inviting me for a swim, and then jumping on me, and they're giving me love. So I get the opportunity to spend time with them, to talk to them, for them to tell me how they feel, to make friends and enjoy them.
¿Qué quieren que te traiga?
Una máscara para ver nuestros animales.
¿Y qué más quieren que les traiga?
Una máscara.
¿Y juguetes qué quieren que les traiga? ¿Qué juguetes?
Y una cosa para atrapar pescado y para apoyarlo.
Ah, para apoyarlos, ¿no te da lástima apoyarlos?
Me da lástima para comerlo.
Ah,
Mira.
ok.